Welcome back everyone, I'm Capley's Games, and as you can see we're here again with more EVE Online action. And as you can probably tell, I did not end up taking a break into the new year, because it's still December. Well done me. Well, the festive period is over. I hope you all had a decent time, or as good a time as 2020 allowed you to have. I hope you saw some family, if only over video chat. And if you didn't have a joyous Christmas, I hope you at least had a peaceful and restful one. Right, let's do a quick catch up. Yesterday I did record an entire video, but 2020 being what it is, that save file then corrupted, so I couldn't use any of it. And EVE Online being an MMO, I couldn't just reload a previous save and re-record it. So I'll just have to work with what we have. The big news is that I have decided to form my own little one-man corporation to avoid the 11% tax we were paying on all the bounties and agent pay. Now, I could have put up with staying in the NPC corporation, because as you know, we've made billions and billions over the last 3 months, so I could have easily earned enough. But I was looking at the wallet overview. As you know, since we've started running level 4 missions, the amount of bounty pay has gone up. If you look back through previous videos, almost this entire wheel was trade, and that was from when we were running nothing but combat sites and selling the goods that we got from that. Now we're actually earning, well, in the last 30 days, 23.4% of our income has come from bounty. And we've actually been paying 11% of that to tax to the NPC corporation. So I spent 30,000 disc on the corporation management skill book, and I trained level 1. That took 8 minutes, and we formed our own corporation, and that means that this is now going to increase by 11%, which is nice. Now, to do your own corporation, you come up here to the menu, you go to social and corporation, and usually there's a button at the bottom here that says create corporation. This is pretty similar to the little thing you'll see when you create your corporation. The logos you can make are very basic, they're very rubbish, and the developers seem to be happy with that. You can have a choice of 3 things: a background, a midground, and a foreground, and you can change the colour of them. There's only about 50 or 60 different icons for each. And then you type in the name of your corporation. I just called it Andreev Industries because I'm not very creative. And then you have to choose what is known as a ticker name. Now the ticker is a big issue. See, EVE Online has been running for 17 years, and over that 17 years there have been many hundreds of thousands of corporations made, and each of them has to have a ticker. Now tickers can be between 3 and 5 letters long. So that's only, I mean, it is millions of combinations, but most of them have been taken. What you'll find is if I'd gone ANDIN, like Andreev Industries, that would probably have been taken, because anything sensical or shorthand has been taken. And you'll find when you try and create your corporation, it will say, no, we can't, because the ticker name's been taken. So I just face planted the keyboard, and NSEJK appeared, and it accepted it. So this is the Corp ticker. It's just random letters. It doesn't really mean anything at all. At the minute we can have up to 20 members if you want, but I'm not going to hire anyone else. And that's how you do your corporation. It only costs about 2 million ISK, and that's including the cost of the 30,000 ISK skill book to set up, so it's really cheap to do. Now, in the olden days, this war eligibility thing didn't exist, and as soon as you were in a player-made corporation, you were vulnerable to being war declared by any other player-made corporation, and this was abused terribly in HiSec for about 16 years. You had these huge predatory groups that would do nothing but declare war on these small one-man corps, or 5, 10, 20, 30 people corps. And they would just absolutely demolish you in a HiSec, because when you're at war, Concord look the other way. They don't get involved, so you can legally kill anyone, anywhere. So this became a huge problem. So in the end, the developers decided to introduce this war eligibility thing. And this means that now to either declare war on someone else or to have war declared against you, you first have to own a structure. Now this can be a customs office or an upwell station or even one of the older player-owned structures which are being phased out. But if you own any one of these, this makes you vulnerable. I'm not planning on owning a station in this corp, so we'll be safe at least from legalized wars. I mean, there's always the danger of being suspect baited or just straight up suicide killed. So we're safe. I have set the tax rate to 0, so all the money goes into my personal wallet instead of to the corp. I mean, this can be changed at any time by clicking edit details. Just set the tax rate here and click submit. So what you'll find some corporations do is that they'll hold like a weekly fleet where everyone just runs level 4 missions in a huge fleet and grinds them out in about 10 minutes flat, and they'll set the tax rate to 100% for the course of that. So all that money will be shoveled into the corporation wallet. We do have a corporation wallet tab in the wallet now. No money in it. And as the CEO, I can withdraw ISK or transfer ISK between wallets as I wish. Bills, or if we rent any offices. You can rent an office in NPC corporations. This gives people a place to join your corp. And it will also give the corporation a shared corporate hangar. But we're not going to need that because it's only me. I don't need an extra corporate hangar. I just need the personal item hangar. I mean, I could take you through all this stuff to do with corporations, but we don't really need to be doing that. What we do need to be doing right now is undocking and getting our planet mining restarted for the day. Yes, we did manage to get a 5th planet up because the skill queues continued even though the recordings haven't. So, and as promised, we're making
warp drive active.
We're making on the Storm planet rocket fuel. And since we have level 4 command center upgrades now, we do have enough CPU and power grid to be able to have 2 extractor heads, each mining one different resource. Rocket fuel is really easy to make. It's really easy to make. It's just 40 plasmoids, 40 electrolytes gives you 5 rocket fuel. Now, I couldn't really be bothered to produce just electrolytes and plasmoids and then export them, only to import them on the temperate and then build the rocket fuel there. I may do that in the future once we get the 6th planet, because this storm planet will be converted to just suspended plasma and the gas planet will just be doing ionic solutions. And then we'll probably get rid of these factories that are making the rocket fuel and move them over to the temperate planet. But for now I'm quite happy just to do this. Now this setup's quite well balanced. This extractor here is doing electrolytes. It's just doing ionic solutions, which gets turned into electrolytes. And we're producing 20 units every half hour, so 40 from this one, 40 from this one. This extractor head is doing the same as suspended plasma, which gets turned into plasmoids, and that's doing 40 an hour and 40 an hour. And the advanced factories, by a lovely quirk, take 40 an hour. So one of these and one of these will feed one of these. So even though we don't really need this one, because 2 of these will be fed by these 4. So it's all quite well balanced. But if I got rid of this, I know I would tempt myself to spend the power grid and CPU on getting one of these to farm a bit more, and then it'll throw it out a whack, because one of these will have 3 factories and we'll just be building up something that we don't need. So I'm quite happy to leave it like this. Let's actually see how much rocket fuel we're making a day. 230. Rubbish. Well, it's worth 2 million.
Warp drive active.
In the planet mining stuff, because we're still in high set, even though we've got 5 planets and level 4 out of 5 levels of command center upgrades, we are still in high sec, so the yields aren't great. But I think we're making about between 7 and 8 million a day. That's not bad. When you multiply it by 30 days, it's a decent contribution towards the 1.4 billion we need for Omega status. Takes the pressure off. Talking of Omega status, we did just a day or so ago go Omega again for another 30 days. That's why the wallet is down at 378 million. That's actually a good thing, 'cause we spent 1.4 billion this month because the price has gone up. If you remember, the previous month was about 1.35, so it's gone up a little bit since last month. But that's the nature of the beast. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. So we spent 1.4 and we still had 300 million left, so this semi-casual playstyle we've been doing is definitely working. As you see here, the bounty prizes, they're all just green, there's no red taxes, because this is all the recording I made yesterday, which corrupted. See, it's nice when your wallet's mostly green and no red. Skills wise, we've been doing lots and lots of things. Target Management 4, Target Management 5, Advanced Target Management 1, 2 and 3, which means if we have a ship that has enough maximum targets, we can actually target 10 things now, which is fantastic. It really comes into its own when we're doing level 4 missions, because it means we can, well, the Armageddon can only target 7 things unless I stick a mod on it, which adds more. But that at least means that we can target one big thing and shoot it with missiles, and then target lots of little things and have the drones destroy them in 1 or 2 cycles each. But it really comes into its own when we're hoovering everything up in the Noctis.
Warp drive
Because that has 5 tractor beams, we target 10 things, we draw 5 of them in, we turn the tractor beams off, we start salvaging these 5, and then we draw the next 5 in. It really, really speeds up the Noctis. Other things done is resistance phasing 1, 2 and 3, and this is the skill which makes the reactive armor hardeners faster and use less cap. And cloaking. We haven't really talked too much about cloaking, not at all really, because it's Omega locked. I'm doing cloaking 4 now, so we can get the Covert Ops Cloaking Device 2, which is a very special module. This allows you to warp cloaked. All the other cloaks don't let you warp cloak, you can just move at sub-light speed. And it can only be fitted to a very small number of ships, but the Stratios is one of those, so that's great. When you're cloaked, you can't be located by combat scanners, and no one can see you in space, and you don't appear in the overview. You still appear in local chat, because you are still in the system. But all they know is that someone is in the system, and they can't find them. So this might allow us to then dip into things like low-sec or null-sec or wormholes with this character at some point in the future, so that's why I'm doing that. So yeah, 7.3 from this planet, and we got 2 million from rocket fuel, so 9 million, not bad. So you've got 43 million in the cargo, it's pretty good going. Speaking of the Armageddon, I think we should take a look at the fit now. Because we've done resistance phasing 3, I've changed the fit a little bit. Only a little bit. If you remember, we had 2 active armor hardeners here, and we'd have a look at each mission and work out who we were fighting, and then look up what damage types they did and change the fit to match that exactly. So we don't have to do that anymore. We have a passive energized membrane which adds 14.9, we'll call it 15% resistance to all of our armor, which is nice. And as you know, the reactive hardener starts off at 15 each, and then it moves these 60 points around. It's either 12 or 15 points changes per cycle, so we've got faster cycles now, so it changes it more quickly, which is really cool. And I have tested this, and when this goes to 60% to a single damage type, say for instance kinetic, because for some reason, even though we're in a Mars space, we get sent to an awful lot of Gurustas combat missions. So when that's at 60% kinetic, and this is adding another 15, this actually increases our kinetic damage resistance up to about 75. And when we had 2 kinetic hardeners here, it was also about 75. So this is really cool. This means that we don't have to bother about changing the fit all the time anymore. And just leave it with this, and trust this to adapt quickly to buff our resistances for anyone we're fighting, which is really, really cool. It's really sped up the missions process. I'm able to just accept, undock, and get a move on. And the only thing I have to do is to reload to a different missile on the en route. It's really cool, really, really fast. Skills that we're training now after cloaking 4. CPU management 5 to give us 5% more CPU overall. Weapon upgrades 5 to reduce CPU use of weapons by 5%. Energy grid upgrades 5. Another 5% reduction in CPU needs. I mean, this isn't because I really need CPU for anything. It's because these are prerequisites for the Tech 2 MR Cruiser that I want us to get into. I mean, they're really good skills anyway. I would eventually have wanted to do these anyway. But as you can see, this one's nearly 4 days, this one's 9 days, this one's 7 days, so it's not a small undertaking in putting us through. It's going to be a grind, but we'll get there. Because I really, really want this Tech 2 ship. But it is good that we're going to reduce the CPU. We're going to get 5% more CPU, and then the weapons are going to need 5% less, and then these energy upgrades are going to need 5% less. So hopefully we'll save enough CPU that we can get rid of the co-processor. I mean, we'd have to save 55, but then we could replace this, because this actually uses 24. If we replace this with the other version that uses no CPU, then we only need to save 31. So it would be nice if we could get rid of this and put something more useful on it, because I really dislike having fitting modules on ships. I don't mind them being in rigs, but I don't like them being here. Okay, so that's all the planets restarted. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to jump in the Stratos, do a tour of a jar, as usual, and then I'll come back and let you know what we found, and then we'll probably go back to Helabang, grab the Armageddon, and run some more level 4 missions, because I can actually say that we're running them now. We're not merely just completing them, we are getting quite efficient at them, and hopefully you'll see the results of that very soon. Okay, one tour of a jar done. We only got 1 escalation, we didn't get any commanders. I don't think I've showed you how quickly we're running this 3 out of 10 these days.
Active.
So let's go through it. Gone are the days of warping out 8 times in a Tech 1 Punisher. Yeah, let's keep one eye on the time as we're doing this. Started at 10:23. Oh, the little frigate's got a little bit too close for the tracking of the ogres. That's why we called them back and put out the light drones, and they'll just run around and do their thing. Nothing but the Overseer's box. It's to be expected. Faction loot in this room is extremely rare. Okay, well, that's the first room done in 3 minutes.
Warp drive active.
And second room. Mobile transfer unit out. Target the commander. Put out some sentry drones. And shoot at him. Yeah, they all keep missing at the start, but as soon as he starts to approach, they'll just kill him in about 2 shots. Like so. So, 10:26. That means we have completed this site in 3 minutes. Isn't that fun? No way was I going to make a video. One video for this. That'd be a terrible idea. But this shows, I mean, after downtime today, this character will be 90 days old. On day 4, we did this site in a T1 fitted Punisher. We worked out 8 times. It was a terrible experience, but it was good because we got 105 million. And these days, 86 days later, we're running this site in 3 minutes with sentry drones and character units and all that good stuff. There we are, 58.2. Look at that. Remember to pick up your mobile tractor unit, bring the drones back. Right, done. So that's how we do this site these days.
Active.
3 minutes, start to finish. Absolutely love it. Right. As promised, I will see you guys back in Helaban and we'll run some level 4 missions in the Armageddon. Okay, downtime's been and gone. We're back in Helaban, I'm in the Armageddon. And here's the mission offer from the agent. The Right Hand of Zazzmatazz. I haven't shown you this one yet, it's pretty funny. Oh, say funny, it's got a funny name. And it features our old friend Zor, who is the battleship that shows up in Damsel in Distress. Now, I have mentioned he drops quite an expensive implant, very rarely, but I actually got it twice in 1 week, a couple of weeks ago, so that probably means I won't see it again for another 17 years, or we might see it in the next 17 minutes. So let's go and see what happens here. 508,000 reward, 1,762 loyalty points, and 438,000 bonus rewards if we do it in the time. And these rewards, we get all of it, and we don't pay 11% to the NPC corporation anymore, so hooray! Let's accept. Let's go. Sansha, set destination.
Warp drive active.
These are instant undock, so don't get stuck in the station. This is a mercenaries mission, which is cool because it means that absolutely everything
active.
Will drop at least some sort of loot. Okay, so it's Scourge missiles because it's kinetic, and we'll be making use of the wardens. Well, with the 50 million ISK we got from that 3 of 10 a few minutes ago, that's pretty much our daily target from what we need. So everything else is just gravy. This is a mission that you can choose your warping distance at.
Warp drive
So
active.
I think we'll do that. Start to warp, cancel it, right click again, encounter, walk to location, think we'll go 50.
Warp drive active.
If needs be, we can always micro jump drive another 100. I have never done another mission with the rapid heavy brawling fit. I am not sure I ever will. Sniping with sentry drones and cruise missiles is just too easy. There's never been a mission that I've been unable to kill anything, so I've never needed the extra DPS. Okay, here we are on a mission site. This is the mission objective. We need to destroy this. And as usual, first thing we kill is Zor. I told you previously that Zor does 1000 DPS. That was complete rubbish. He does 1000 damage per hit. And luckily his cycle time is not 1 second, so it's not 1000 DPS, he just does 1000 damage. Okay, after Zor dies, we'll kill the frigates, all the frigates, lock them all up, make use of our 7 targets that we can have in this ship. There's 7 in this, isn't it? Let's have a look down here. Yeah, maximum targeting is 7. So Zor's 500,000. Right, he's dead. I will start shooting at 7 McQuarrie, and the drones will take care of all the frigates. If they can, if they're not too close. These ones that are 30 might be, yeah, I think they're too close. Alright, shoot at the ones that are further away then. Damn you and your awful tracking. Man, these drones tracking is awful, isn't it? Right, let's just switch target completely. Unlock the frigates and lock all the cruisers. There's one dead already. There's not very many enemies in this mission. If you warp in right into the bunch of them and they're all in range, then it can get quite dicey. Oops, no. Cruiser please, thank you. Drones are taking fire, I think, from maybe the cruisers and certainly this frigate, but I'm not taking that much damage, so we'll just chill out. No need to panic and bring them back in. Oh, no. Awful crappy missiles have finally killed something. Hooray! It's pretty much the way the missions go these days. I kill the battleships with the missiles and the drones take care of everything else. Just drop a bookmark right where we are. Okay, the drones are getting a little bit too much damage now. Let's bring them in. Lock the frigates. Okay, light drones on frigates next, and then we'll put medium drones out to kill the rest of these guys. Tank will hold steady, see it's much faster cycle time now. If you remember, this used to absolutely crawl round. Because these are all autocannon armed ships. They do quite a lot of damage up close, as you can see. 4 cruisers and 1 frigate is testing our tank. That will be okay. Yeah, we'll be fine. Right, bring them back. What are these guys weak to? Attributes. Shush. Reload the missiles. Structure's dead. Let's just help the drones kill this guy. There he goes. If you drop yourself right in the middle of this bunch, right at the start of the mission, it does get quite scary. Especially when Zor's still alive. But I think we'll be fine. I was debating whether or not to use the jump drive, but I think we're killing them quickly enough. Get all these lovely wrecks full of loot. The tank's only barely holding on, even though it's only 2 things. Let's have a look. You can actually own and fly that ship. It's called a Cinnabal. Gets huge bonuses to projectile weapons and shields. It's really fast as well. It's a really nice ship. There it is. It's the Angel Cartel. Yeah, projectiles, projectiles, projectiles. And it's really fast and warp. Right, everything dead, the drone's back. We walked in, we never moved, we sat still, and we killed everything. This is how our missions are going these days.
Warp drive active.
So our drones were highlighted green because they are counted as members of our corporation and our current overview settings. You go to appearance. Pilot is in your Capsuleer Corporation, so they get a green background. Could just turn that off, you know. Nah, just leave it on. Overview settings is a mystical thing, and some people have got incredibly complex overviews and all different colours and tabs and all kinds of nonsense going on.
Warp drive active.
So that was just a few minutes for that mission. Wasn't too difficult. Come on, armour repairer, fix up the paint. A little bit more. There we are, all fixed up. Lovely. Okay, speak to the agent, complete the mission. Right. Let's get back there and see what we can get in the loot. Recently I have been running missions fast enough that I've been just completing missions for about 90 minutes and dropping bookmarks in each and every room as I went along. And then I've taken out the Noctis and just done one sweep of all the surrounding systems and bookmarks. Instead of doing what I'm doing here, which is running one mission and then salvaging one mission. This is just for video purposes. The Noctis Tech 1 tractor beams are going to 68 kilometers now because we did our industrial level 4 and they're pulling at 1700 meters a second. And this ship actually has 10 targets, 11. So the ship can handle 11 targets. We've only got skills for 10, but 10's perfect, as you will soon see. That also means that our salvagers have gotten faster cycle times. I think they're down to 8 seconds now. Yeah, 8. Still only 45% success chance.
Warp drive
Because they're
active.
still Tech 1. Because our salvaging skill is still only level 3. We've got another 2 levels of that to go, and then we'll get Tech 2 salvagers. Maybe Tech 2 salvage rigs as well. I think if you get maximums everything, then you get 7.5 seconds cycle time and 80% access difficulty. Which means 80% chance of successfully salvaging a wreck every 7.5 seconds. Noctis are supremely good. Right, let's see. Zor's wreck is out of range. Oh well, we'll target everything else. Literally everything else. Boop. And that, and that. And this one's in range already. And maybe this one is, and this one. Turn off these tractor beams because they're in range. Oh, that one's finished already. 4, 1, 2, 8. Let's close that, it's a distraction. Lock this, and this. Nope, that one's salvaged, that one's salvaged. Turn these tractor beams off. 1, 3. Oh, something else has just got salvaged. Something else just got salvaged. Something else disappeared. Told you this thing was good. Right, and let's approach the only 2 things that are out of range. That footage was not sped up. It really wasn't. This is just how good and how efficient Noctis are. We've still got lots of extra things to do as well. We can get Tech 2 small tractor beams. Leave at maximum skills of Tech 2. Small tractor beam on a fully skilled Noctis will have 96 kilometer range and 2700 pull speed. There we are. Don't think we need this bookmark anymore. Oh, the station dropped 7 metal scraps. No, not his good implant, just his rubbish one. Oh well, it'll do. Right, so that's 7.7 million-esque. Lovely jubbly. Let me see how. I mean, it's 10% bonus to afterburner duration, which means that your afterburners use less capacitor. But this drops so often that it's worth absolutely nothing. It's absolute garbage. But the hyperlink is still worth about 40 million. It's not as expensive as it used to be. I think it's because more people are finding it. But I have had it twice. There's 6.5 worth selling. 393,000 salvaged, which is awful. Some missiles, some laser ammo, and everything else will just get melted down. Okay, all this goes in loot and salvage. This goes in loot and salvage. Missiles come down here. Laser ammo goes in here. Loot and salvage. This is from 3 to 10 today, and that's what we got from it. I got a commander yesterday. That's what that was. Ran one mission yesterday. Hardly got anything from it. So we got 71 million in there. Still no bounty yet. No. Well, that was 22 minutes from the start of this video to run the mission and salvage it. Now that's pretty good going. And we'll just reprocess all this garbage. Off it goes. Give us some more Zydraine. And all this will go here. Laser crystals wise, we are building up quite a decent supply of them all. I will keep an eye on the market prices. If any of them become worth selling, then we'll use the loyalty point store and convert them to Imperial Navy laser crystals. You do them in batches of 10. So work out which one, small, medium, large, is worth selling. If you've got 10 of it, then we'll convert it. If not, then we won't. So I'm just going to do that right now. Allegedly, Imperial Navy Ultraviolet Small is selling quite well at the moment. But we'll confirm that on Eve Tycoon. Yep, that's that confirmed. So let's do that. Drag it down here so it's in the item bay, because the loyalty point store only looks inside the item hanger. Open this. So we need to filter it for charge, which means ammunition. Here you go. The only one we can purchase is this. So we're exchanging 10 Imperial Navy Ultraviolet Small, 1,350 loyalty points, and 1.3 million ISK. And we're accepting one batch of that. And this will ask you to read it and confirm it. Yes, please. Excellent. Right, now we have 10 small Imperial Navy Ultraviolets to sell. Boop. And these are selling at a MAR for 255,000 each. And the prices on these, the Imperial Navy variants of these, fluctuate wildly. Like, it's crazy stupid. So it's best to sell them the day you make them, or almost as soon as you made them, get them to market. So I will go and do that, and I will also do the chilling spree, which is hit someone in the face with a snowball and get 5,000 skill points. And then I'll probably call it a day. In fact, why don't we call this video a day? It's been going for quite a while. So we've done a 3 out of 10 in 3 minutes flat. We've done a level 4 mission in 20 minutes flat. We've made a whole pile of cash in doing so. Hey, bounty prizes. 1.5 million. Rubbish. So we got about 10 million in total from that mission. Not awful, not great, but it was something. Anyway, do take good care of yourself, and I'll see you there.